the Nimbus Lite. Good morning, YouTube! What's up, guys? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay, as always. What a week. 2020, man. So I was gonna do a video today on my favorite recovery day shoe because I've been doing a lot of recovery runs in preparation for something very exciting I'm doing on Sunday. Well, technically today, while you're watching this, I'm probably doing it. But there's another video on my channel about that, so go check it out. I'll put it right here. So anyway, I'm not gonna do the recovery day shoe video today because a package from ASICS showed up at my door yesterday. I know everyone says that I say ASICS, whatever, who cares? Just listen to what I have to say. And in this package contained 3 boxes, right here, 1, 2, 3. And today, I'm going to do a first run impressions on one of these shoes. We have the Nimbus Lite. Today, I'm gonna be doing a first run impressions of the Nimbus Lite 2. The Nimbus Lite 2. I love the Nimbus Lite 1. It was in my video of top 5 daily trainers. I'll also link that here. So when I found out that I was gonna get my hands on the Nimbus Lite 2, I was so excited. Let's get these on and let's go for a run. I'm tired. All right, I'm back from my run, and now it's time to talk all about the ASICS Gel Nimbus Lite 2. If you've been following my channel for some time, you know that I was a pretty big fan of the first version of the Nimbus Lite. Hi, how are you? It came out at a time where ASICS shoes were still kind of in their clunky stages. But what was cool about the Nimbus Lite was that it was a stripped down version of those clunkier shoes. The midsole felt softer, the upper felt lighter. Since the release of the Nimbus Lite, ASICS has become a lot more innovative in their products. And because of that, I was so excited to see what the Nimbus Lite 2 would be like. And sure enough, it's a big departure from the 1, and it kind of makes the 1 looks outdated. So I'll be making some comparisons to the Lite 1 in this video and maybe to the Kayano Lite as well. But today, the star of the show is the Nimbus Lite 2. Before we get started today, I do want to let you guys know that this shoe was sent to me by Running Warehouse for the purpose of review. However, they're not going to see this video before you. ASICS won't see it before you. No one's telling me what to say. All my opinions are made in this brain. You guys know the drill. Let's start with the specs of the Nimbus Lite 2. The Nimbus Lite 2 is 7.8 ounces for a women's size 7, but for my size, 10.5 women's, this shoe came in at 9.8 ounces. Which is interesting because if we're comparing this to the Nimbus Lite 1, that shoe for a women's size 7 was heavier than the Nimbus Lite 2, but for my size, the Nimbus Lite 1 was lighter than the 2. Kind of weird. For women, this shoe has a 13 millimeter drop with 27 millimeters of stack in the heel and 14 in the forefoot. For men, there's only a 10 millimeter drop, 25 in the heel and 15 in the forefoot. And yes, the Nimbus Lite 2 is true to size. The upper of the Nimbus Lite 2 is a sustainable engineered mesh, which means that the upper is constructed with recycled materials for a more eco-friendly approach. It's very soft and comfortable, and I felt like it hugged my foot. Not too tight that I felt constricted, but just enough to give me a good lockdown. And another thing that I really liked about it is that it's breathable. I did feel air passing through the forefoot of the shoe, no problems. We do have very little overlays here, but you do still get structure and feel like you have a dialed in fit. I appreciate that ASICS is kind of dialing back their uppers of their light shoes instead of making them so thick and structured like the regular shoes. I don't know what you would call them. The laces are flat, somewhat stretchy, stayed tied. The tongue is very padded and comfortable, and it's gusseted. You can't really see it, but we do have some decent padding around the ankle collar. This is probably as much as I would want. I think anything more than this and it would just be like a little too bulky back here. And we do have a sturdy heel counter here with a little bit of a reinforcement overlay just for some extra structure. If you're worried about the shoe being too narrow, I don't think you need to be. I have a narrow foot, but I did have a decent amount of room here in that forefoot area. And the nice thing that I thought about this shoe is that it doesn't get super narrow in the midfoot. It kind of maintains that same amount of space that you have in the forefoot. So I do think that this is going to be an accommodating shoe for all different foot types. I gotta say, for a daily trainer, I think that ASICS nailed this upper, and it's one of the better ones I've seen from them in a long time. If we compare it to the first version here, it's pretty evident that this upper is a little bit stiffer. There are some more prominent overlays in the midfoot and in the back heel area. It just shows that they're continuing to work on being even more innovative, which I love from a company. ASICS is using their signature Flytefoam in the midsole of the Nimbus Lite 2, but this is their Cellulose Nanofiber version, which we've seen in the Nimbus Lite 1 and in the Kayano Lite. This is also more sustainable and eco-friendly. While this apparently has the same amount of stack as the Nimbus Lite 1, I did find it to be softer and it felt like there was more underfoot. It seems as if the distribution of the foam has changed. There's a lot more in this back heel area, and it's also a wider platform now, which I think does help with the stability of the shoe. It's like the Kayano Lite in that sense, just a little bit dialed down. But I think that's great because people who don't want a stability shoe, want a neutral shoe, but don't want to be rocking back and forth on the platform, they're gonna like this. So how does the ride of the Nimbus Lite 2 feel? Well, like I said, it feels softer than the one for sure. And I gotta say, it also felt more bouncy. I wouldn't call this shoe extremely responsive. I wouldn't call the Nimbus Lite 1 that either. But I think this has a little bit more bounce. I don't have many miles on this shoe. I only have one run in it. It was a 5-mile run at like a steady pace. I think it was like 8:07 overall. And while I felt like crap, the ride of the shoe did not. I felt protected, never like I needed more underfoot. It's soft, but it's not overly soft. It's one of those shoes that's in the middle area, which I seem to be liking a lot more of lately. And when I threw some strides in there, I did feel a little bit of bounce, which is great because I think it makes this shoe more versatile. If you can only have one shoe, then I think this is a pretty good option. I've talked about this before in other shoes, but this is a great shoe that if you want to run that day, but you're not exactly sure what you want to do, if you want to go easy, if you want to pick up the pace, you just want to go by feel, this is a great shoe for that because it can kind of respond in any situation. Again, if we're comparing it to the Nimbus Lite 1, I think that this is softer. It feels like there's more underfoot. It also feels more flexible in the midsole. This definitely feels stiffer. And you guys know I like the ride of this, but I gotta say, I think this might be even more enjoyable. And I do think this is going to be a durable midsole. We know Flytefoam lasts a long time, and that's gonna be no different here. Moving on to the outsole of the Nimbus Lite 2, ASICS is using their AHAR Plus rubber. AHAR rubber is always pretty solid, but what's cool about it here is that they've kind of gone away from their usual design and made it sort of funky looking. While we're talking about this whole design, I did mention before when I was talking about the midsole that I like the wider platform that ASICS is using here. The midfoot design in this outsole slash midsole section is gender specific. ASICS says the midfoot design creates a more stable and durable experience for men and a lighter experience for women. So that's cool to me. That shows that ASICS is listening to what their customers want. And as always, it has great traction. I took this out on a dry day, but I have no doubt in my mind that if the roads were wet, this would perform perfectly. And you know, for once, ASICS didn't go overboard with the rubber. I think we have it in exactly the areas that we need it. This is a daily trainer, so you're gonna need some rubber there, guys, but it's not too much or intrusive. I'm very pleased. The ASICS Nimbus Lite 2 will be $150 when it is available. And just like the K-On Lite, I think that is too much money. Especially because the Nimbus 23, the big brother to this shoe essentially, will also be $150. I still stand by the fact that I think the light shoe should be lighter on your pocket. On runningwarehouse.com, the Nimbus Lite is on sale right now for $119.95, which is a pretty good deal for a great shoe. So if you're interested in this, I'll link it down below in the description of this video. Keep in mind, this is an affiliate link with Running Warehouse. However, that doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can help you make a better informed decision. And when the Nimbus Lite 2 is on sale at runningwarehouse.com, I will also link that down below as well. So far, guys, this shoe's a big yes for me. 2020 has been a really good year for ASICS, but I'll definitely be taking this to 50 miles. I loved it. I think I'm gonna continue to love it, and I think when it comes out, you guys will love it too. All right, well, that concludes my first run impressions of the ASICS Gel Nimbus Lite 2. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe, and when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell down below so you can find out every time I upload a new video. One thing is for certain, I am very happy that I got rid of this colorway. This is a big improvement. I have some more videos for you guys next week. In fact, while you're watching this, I'm probably trying to PR my half marathon time, so give me a shout. In the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time. Well, that concludes my first run impressions of the new... No, this is not a New Balance video.